Today on Fast Food Face Off, we're doing the Pillsbury soft baked cookie review. Let's crush some calories.
Fast food face off! Fast food face off! Fast food face off!
What's up, Tasty Vibe Tribe? Today, we're doing Pillsbury soft baked cookies. These things are brand new and they're really difficult to be able to find all 5 of them in store. Luckily, I was able to find all of them at my local Walmart. I've seen mixed reviews on these, but I wanted to try all of them to see which one is worth your dough. Let's get into it. First up, we have the OG chocolate chip cookies. This honestly is probably my favorite flavor of cookie out of all cookies. Miss Fast Food Face Off, oddly enough, likes chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips. She's not a chocolate person, but anyway, these are my favorite, and I want to see what Pillsbury did. Let's just get into it. All right, they look good, they smell good, hopefully they taste good. I'll let you guys get a look. See how they taste. Hey, what's going on, fast food fanatics? Stick around for some fun Pillsbury facts and some good old-fashioned cookie crushing. So, the consistency is good. It's a soft-baked, chewier cookie. It doesn't just kind of come undone when you eat it. And it's not crispy by any means. They tried to kind of hit somewhere right in the middle. You can kind of see how when I pull it, it gives a little bit of give. So the texture is real nice. The amount of chocolate chips that they put in there are also appreciated because sometimes people that do chocolate chip cookies, the way that they're baked off, they kind of settle towards the bottom or they just don't put enough and it's kind of disappointing. I would just say that there really isn't much else that stands out about this cookie. Just a pretty regular, run-of-the-mill packaged store-bought chocolate chip cookie. Before I smash the rest of these, make sure if you guys are new here to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so that you can stay up to date with what we have going on in future videos. And if you enjoy the content, smash that like button. Let's finish these up. So a common complaint about a lot of these cookies was that there was an aftertaste that a lot of people didn't enjoy. And as I'm having more of these, I am kind of picking up a little bit on that aftertaste. And for somebody who's done a lot of taste testing for Mrs. Fast Food Face Off when she was doing her bakery, it kind of has a cream of tartar vibe. So there's almost like just like a slight sour note that I think might be off-putting to some people. And I'm not positive what it is. I know that they say on the packaging that they use real butter. I don't know if that's what it might be, that it's like slightly curdled milk. Maybe it's not as apparent in the non-chocolate flavors. I'll let you guys know as I get through those. In 1965, an advertising agency in Chicago came up with the now beloved Pillsbury Doughboy. Its creative director, Rudy Purz, named the character Poppin' Fresh to convey the freshness of Pillsbury's dough. Next up, we have their confetti cookies. I'm sure that Mrs. Fast Food Face Off is anxiously awaiting this because I would say one of her second favorite style of cookies is basically like sugar cookies or confetti sprinkle style products. That's right up her alley. So let's see if this is approved by Mrs. Fast Food Face Off. You can see some of the sprinkles. It's one of those things where when you probably bite into it, you can taste it more than you can see it. So let's see how this one stacks up. Yeah, I definitely vibe on this one more. It's like a good sugar cookie, and then you get kind of that vanilla cake batter vibe, that home style kind of vanilla feeling that you get from like licking the beaters when your mom used to make like birthday cakes and stuff. And then the sprinkles just add a little bit of texture, not much. I do wish that maybe they went with some bigger sprinkles, but aside from that, this is a really tasty cookie. Now, before I get into this, we have noticed that there's been an uptick in a lot of new subscribers. So if you're watching this for the first time, you might be wondering to yourself, Josh, you just kind of explained, your general thoughts on the cookie. Why eat the rest of them? When I started Fast Food Face Off at the beginning of the pandemic, I did tend to notice a trend on YouTube with people that do reviews. They were ordering whole menu reviews, and I mean, that's great because it kind of helps people decipher what it is that they may or may not like. But I felt like it was being wasteful because a lot of those YouTubers were taking bites of things, and let's be honest, during the height of the pandemic, most people weren't sharing food with anybody outside of their household. And realistically, it was probably getting thrown in the garbage. When I saw that, I thought of an opportunity to be able to review the products that I liked and you guys like, and to also kind of mix in another thing that's been a passion of mine over the last year, which is competitive eating. I'm by no stretch a competitive eater, but I enjoyed watching that content on YouTube with guys like Beard Meats Food or Eric the Electric, who are awesome at it. And even though I've never done it professionally, I do like the idea of maybe pushing myself to add a little bit more something to the video and to the content that I put out. I can only do what I do, which is just basically what I do, which is what Fast Food Face Off is. Giving you guys honest opinions and reviews about the food that I eat, and also making sure to not be any more wasteful than I would be if I was eating this by myself. Enough talking, let's crush some more calories. Speaking of new followers, thank you all so much for the continued support. If you guys can stay liking, sharing, and commenting on the videos, it will help us grow the Tasty Vibe Tribe even larger, so I can keep putting out the content you guys want to see. If I don't give one of these to Mrs. Fast Food Face Off, she's gonna kill me. So I'm gonna hold on to this one for her. I'm just gonna slide it out of frame. Next up is the peanut butter with chocolatey drizzle. The confetti cookies had a substantially less bitter aftertaste than the chocolate chip cookies. It was almost non-existent. So I'm curious to see whether or not it's only in the chocolate flavored ones or if it's basically in all of the cookies. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. There's a good peanut butter flavor there. You get a little bit of the salt from the peanuts. And then whatever chocolate they use, again, it has a very home style vibe to it. So kudos to Pillsbury in being able to pull some of those more subtle flavors out. The chocolate almost feels like it's not just your run-of-the-mill milk chocolate. And it balances really nicely with the peanut butter flavor. Believe it or not, the Pillsbury company at one time owned both Burger King and Haagen-Dazs. But as of early 2000, General Mills acquired Pillsbury, forcing them to no longer exercise control as a parent company. I think what I appreciate about what Pillsbury did with this one, they went with a real heavy-handed chocolate drizzle, and then they put peanut butter chips inside of the cookie itself. And then I'm not sure if the actual base of the cookie is just the standard base or if there's peanut butter in there as well. Even though there's chocolate on this, it doesn't necessarily outshine the peanut butter. And I think that that's something that is a hard balance to find when you get something that has chocolate and peanut butter. I mean, Reese's is now kind of figuring that out, that some people are more chocolate lovers versus peanut butter lovers. But when you get that nice balance, I think that that's pretty much the best of both worlds. Next up, we have their sugar with drizzled icing. Before I get into these, I wanted to see whether or not you guys were team soft baked or team crispy cookie. Let me know down in the comment section below. Me personally, I know that it sounds like a cop-out, but I'm usually somewhere in between. I like a crispy edge and kind of a softer, chewier center. I think that that's the perfect balance, but I do respect people that like crispy or soft. Let me know. They're pretty good looking cookies. What's cool about when Pillsbury or like a lot of these companies make like these limited edition runs, they go all out. Like as soon as you open up this package, like it smells good. It's one of those you kind of eat with your eyes and kind of with your nose before you eat with your mouth, and it's appreciated. See how these stack up. So there's nothing that's wrong with these. The flavor profile on them is definitely sugar cookie. The aftertaste in the back end is very nice. It's a good kind of home style vanilla vibe, like confetti cookie that they had. I would just say it is kind of disappointing because the icing on top is just very generic icing. If you were gonna go as far as maybe making this like a colored icing, what would have been cool is to just make it a flavor. Like strawberry on top of a sugar cookie, I think would have maybe played into the flavor profile a little bit better. Either that or just maybe make it so that the actual icing itself is just better than just kind of a royal icing. Did you know the Pillsbury Doughboy has a family? In the early 70s, the Pillsbury company made a Poppin' Fresh doll that became so popular, they gave him an entire family, which consisted of his wife Poppy Fresh, their two children, Popper and Bun Bun, his dog and cat Flapjack and Biscuit,
grandparents, grandmama, and grandpapa, and let's not forget his Uncle Rolly.
And last but not least, we have the butterscotch and chocolate chip. So I saved this one for last just because, you know, not to anybody who likes the idea of chocolate and butterscotch, it's just not necessarily a flavor that speaks to me. I do want to see how this stacks up to the other ones as far as the aftertaste, and I don't know, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. Maybe I'll like this one more than I like the regular chocolate chip. Let's see. These aren't bad. I mean, there's definitely a butterscotch kind of flavor. Honestly, I think that they would have been better off going with something like chocolate and caramel, going with a little bit lighter and sweeter of a taste. That's just kind of preference. Your guys' mileage may vary, but I do think that the butterscotch that's in this is a little bit rich for my taste. Now that I only got about a dozen or so cookies left, I thought that this would be a good time to let you guys know that this next week is going to be Earth Day on Thursday, April 22nd. And we thought, what better way to celebrate that here at Fast Food Face Off than to just take the week off? We want to encourage people that subscribe and follow us to kind of maybe unplug from social media, unplug from their computers and their phones, and get out into nature as best as they can, obviously, while things are permitted. Maybe getting out and doing something for Mother Earth and doing something nice for yourself as well. In the meantime, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, go over there and give us a follow so that you can stay up to date with some exclusive content that you would be normally missing if you weren't following us on our Instagram. And since we're not going to be doing a video next week, feel free to check out the past catalog of videos that we have on Fast Food Face Off to hold you guys off until we drop our next new content. Back to the cookie.
Let's see if this was a dozaster or a sweet success for Pillsbury. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Final review time. I didn't finish up the last few of the butterscotch chocolate ones, not because I couldn't finish up the last 5 cookies, just because the flavor wasn't overly doing it for me, plus the aftertaste. I just didn't feel like finishing those. Anyway, I do think that Pillsbury did some things right with kind of their first, attempt at packaged cookies. They are a good balance in texture, so they're nice and chewy, they're softer baked. The amount of mix-ins that they chose to put in when they did put mix-ins was good, it was appreciated. The flavors that they did nail were very good. They were slightly outside of the box offerings from what you would normally see in kind of the chocolate caramel peanut butter persuasion that is most of the cookie aisle. Now for the bad. I do understand when people were talking about the kind of bitter, sour aftertaste on some of the cookies. It's not in all of them, though. I will say that as a disclaimer. If you're a chocolate chip cookie fan like me, you're definitely going to want to pass on the chocolate chips on these ones. There's just something about, like I said, I think it's the cream of tartar, that it just leaves a sour, lingering aftertaste after maybe about 2 or 3 of those cookies. Again, you were kind of picking up that vibe with the chocolate chip and butterscotch ones. The butterscotch definitely helped because it was a rich, kind of strong, bold butterscotch flavor, but there was still a lingering aftertaste. I would say if you do want to try the Pillsbury cookies, if it's something that you've seen and you weren't sure if you wanted to kind of spend the money on, I would go with the Confetti cookie. I think that was number 1 for me. And then I would say the chocolate peanut butter one had enough of a balance of both of those flavors and was lacking that kind of bitter aftertaste that would probably be number 2. And then number 3 would probably just be the sugar cookie with the drizzle. The calories on these were varied. I think that they're somewhere between 130 to 150, depending on the variety of cookie. We'll have those listed up here for you guys. And then the cost was pretty marginal. They were all the same across the board. Most store-bought cookies, they're about all in the same ballpark as far as price is concerned. Just as a reminder again for you guys, next week on Thursday when we would normally be releasing a video, it's Earth Day, and we will not be releasing a video to kind of encourage you guys to unplug from social media. If you aren't already, give us a follow on Instagram and take this time to maybe go through some of our past videos that you might have missed. Until then, remember, you are what you eat. Always eat amazing.